brothers and sisters. You know, it's been a remarkable providence of God that we would begin this retreat, this Dominican House Dominican House of Prayer retreat this evening here at Ave Maria University in Florida, on this feast of the family in Bethany, of Mary of Bethany, Martha, and Lazarus. You know, the Gospel of John, I read this morning in a reflection on this feast, says that they're the ones Jesus loved. He loved them. They were his friends. They're a symbol of the kind of intimacy that we all can have with Jesus. And it's beautiful for us to begin our retreat, our Dominican House of Prayer retreat today on this feast, because the heart of the Dominican House of Prayer, the initiative of which Heartreach has now become, I guess, part of, as my own, I guess, personal ministry within the umbrella of all the different ministries of all of us involved in Dominican House of Prayer, has always been about really trying to inspire in ourselves, and I include myself in that. I see this as a kind of a journey that we discover together as friends, just like the three, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, discover the intimacy of Jesus together in their different ways. And so, you know, it's about learning to open up the heart and to welcome Christ as the guest. And, you know, the House of Bethany is such an incredible place. So much took place there. But it's a symbol too of the soul, about how we welcome the guest of our soul, the Holy Spirit, who's the living presence of the Father and the Son. And it's the Spirit of Jesus, the Holy Spirit. And wherever the Holy Spirit is, who is a person of the Trinity, distinct from the Father and the Son, but they're inseparable, they're one. So wherever the Holy Spirit is, Jesus and the Father are present. When we have the Eucharist, when we adore Jesus in his sacramental form, but his real living body, blood, soul, and divinity in the Eucharist, the Father is also present, and the Holy Spirit is also present with him. The whole Trinity is completely present in the Eucharist. It's just the second person of the Trinity, Jesus, the Son, the living Word, is present with his glorified body, but he's inseparable from the other two persons of the Trinity in this incredible family of love. So Martha, Mary, and Lazarus welcome Jesus with such hospitality into their home. And this is the essence of contemplative prayer. This is the essence of all prayer, to enter into a deep union and friendship with Jesus, that where one is completely aware of Christ. So, you know, and the effects of Jesus, letting Jesus come into our home, to receive it into our life, is to receive his power. And I think Lazarus, out of the three of them, we see that he benefits. He's dead, which is a symbol of spiritual death or sin. He's bound, but by his friendship with Christ, Christ loves him so much that he comes to him and raises him up and gives him life. And he will go on to become the first bishop of Marseille in France. The House of Bethany escaped to south of France. I'm a big believer in seeing Mary Magdalene and Mary of Bethany as the same person. This is a great tradition too in the church. But also, you know, because the room of the church is so big, she allows even sometimes different opinions and some things. So in some traditions of the church, there are two separate Marys. But it is of my conviction that it's the same Mary, that was who was freed by all the demons by Christ, and who was always found at the feet of Christ because of the humility, the humbling experience of experiencing God's mercy, his greatness before her sin leaves her in this posture of humility at his feet. And so she too receives the life-giving presence of Jesus, just like her brother Lazarus, in a profound way. And so this is the benefit of welcoming Jesus into our soul. He brings his life-giving presence, a joy and a peace, as you all know. You know, life without him could be unimaginably worse. And sometimes we need to remind ourselves of that, because sometimes, you know, there are things coming at us, but what if we didn't have Jesus? What if we didn't have his presence? You know, it's unthinkable what we could be, not only in our sinfulness, but in our states of minds and hearts. So, and then we have who's the next one? Martha. Martha, you know, she's so beautiful, she's so attentive, she's so hospitable, but you know, the Lord had to train her and teach her too, to do what Mary did when Mary sat at his feet in Bethany and was just listening to him. I posted that recently, that you know, there's a time and a place for everything, and in that moment when Jesus is there and Jesus is talking, we should just be listening attentively. And this again is deep contemplative prayer. Mary in this house of Bethany at the feet of Christ shows us the essence of contemplative prayer, which is this posture of receptivity, a posture of just listening, aware that Jesus is talking, aware that Jesus is present, giving him our undivided attention. And Martha had to learn this. And even, you know, she would be purified and realize that, you know, it's good to welcome Jesus and be anxious over his details, but it's more good to just listen to him attentively.